Bearded Appliance Repair, and we're covering diagnostic mode. How to get into it is you turn the knob left, right, 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 left, right. You know you're in because you'll see those blinking lights. Now if you turn the knob 3 times and hit start, this here is manual test. Now the first test you run into will be your lid lock test. Once you hit start with no lights and you get a red light, you know that's your lid lock, and you'll hear that click. That's how you know it's working. The next test after that would be your hot and your cold valve. So when the done light's illuminated, it's your cold valve. And when the spin light is illuminated, it is your hot valve. And what's awesome about this is you can run them however long you want, and you can run whatever you want in manual test. There's a little bit of issues whenever it comes to the spin and stuff. You got to make sure that the door's locked or whatever, and we'll cover that later. But it's just cool because you can turn them on and off at will. So if you want to test a cold valve, you can. If you want to test a hot valve, you can. If you want to test a drain pump, you can. It's really awesome. But let's move on. We're going to turn the water valves off here, and we're going to go test the drain pump. That's when rinse, spin, and done lights are illuminated. You hit the start button, turns on the drain pump, so all that water you put in there should be draining out. If it doesn't, you know that there's an issue with the draining on this. So you got to investigate it, whether it's something in your pump's bad, or your board's bad because it's not sending power down there. So that there is your drain test. And what next you guys want to do, you can do an agitate test, which, like I was saying before, is you need to have the lid lock locked. And how I know which one is the agitate test is if you go to the lid lock test at the beginning, the first one or the next two to the left going backwards, that is your agitate test. So you should see your shifter shift into agitate, but you can see it slowly moving there. And then once it gets to the shift position, because there's switches inside that little mechanism there to tell it, okay, I'm in agitate, so I'm gonna start agitating. So there we go. That washer is agitating, so we know our motor and belt's good. And if you move over to the third one back from the lid lock test, it'll shift back into spin and start spinning. So these are the tests that I use whenever I run diagnostics, or whenever I'm looking at a washer like this. If I'm having water fill issues, I'm checking the water valves. If I'm having draining issues, I'm checking the drain pump. If I'm having noises or something, I'm testing everything. So this is a little bit about manual diagnostics and what tests are what. Those are the tests I typically use. You don't really need any of those others in the middle, because all the washer does is fill up, drain, agitate, and spin. That's all they do. Keep it simple, guys. But yeah, that's it. This is Bearded Appliance Repair. If this helps, give me a like, subscribe, and I appreciate y'all watching.